Hi everyone, I am Disha Dioxide and you are watching CEO Secrets, what made them successful and how we can make it. Today I am here with Supriya Salian, who is the MD of PLANSEE India. Today we will be talking about her journey and her experiences. Were you a backbencher, ma'am, or were you an average student? And how can an average student become a CEO?
So, if you're asking me if I was a brilliant student, if I was, holding a rank in school or college, no, I definitely was not. But what I was a very sincere student. So, if I go back to my school days, I was very particular about my notes being up to date, my notes being very neat and clean, submitting on time. Even I was very keen on participating in whatever came, whether it was debates or whatever sports I could manage. Even through college, I think my 4 years of engineering were terror for me because I used to find electrical engineering extremely difficult. I was far away from doing well in terms of marks. But I was a very happy student. I had a nice bunch of friends. I was enjoying whatever. It depends on how you measure success. But I think through my education, I was definitely very happy. I had a lot of opportunities to learn new things. And to that extent, I think I was definitely a successful student.
That's a wonderful, ma'am. And could you tell us when your turning point towards becoming a CEO happened to you?
So honestly, I never had an ambition or aim that I want to become a CEO. I was actually, I finished my school, I finished my engineering, and then I went to the US to do my master's. When I came back from doing my master's, I started working with my dad for a period of this. At that point, the company belonged to my dad for a period of 6 months, only because I didn't want to waste time for 6 months. I was looking for a job and moving to Bangalore. So it was not my aim at any point that I want to become a CEO. I want to become a CEO. I think at every time what I have been doing is, whatever I do very sincerely. So even when I joined my dad, I was doing very small roles of. I actually came because he wanted to set up some kind of networking in the company. So that's where I started working. So I did that project. I did it. I tried to learn. I tried to implement it. And then when I had another few months, I said, okay, I'll work in sales. I'll see how it is to interact with customers. So there was no specific moment that I said I wanted to become a CEO. At every point, whatever I was doing, it was just I always felt that I should do it very sincerely and to the best of what I can do.
It turned out well for you.
It absolutely turned out well for me. It's not just the sincerity. I think when I joined my dad, I had finished my MS and come back, and I joined my dad. So when I told him that can I start working with you, I was under the impression that he'll be very happy and proud and say that yes, please come and work with me and open the doors. He absolutely did open the doors and said come and join me, but he said I will not differentiate between any graduate trainee who comes to work with us and you. So come as a trainee and learn everything on your own. You're not my daughter, you have to start pretty much doing on your own. So that I think was something that really helped me going forward to become a CEO, because when you do things on your own, when you learn and work in different departments, you have the confidence of knowing what happens in your in the organization, which then definitely helps you. So yes, I think sincerity is something that has definitely helped me.
Wonderful, ma'am. And what is the best advice someone gave you?
In my school years or through my growing up, if we are talking largely now of my school and college years, I think it was both my parents who constantly encouraged me to participate and take hold of every opportunity that comes your way. And now you asked me sometime back, were you a successful student or were you? And to not measure your success by marks. If I had been bogged down by the fact that maybe I didn't do well in an exam or my marks were bad, I think it would have pulled me down to a large extent. So one of the, I think the most important advice that they both constantly gave me and my sister, I have a younger sister, is don't worry the marks, but you have an opportunity to do something, to learn something, go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter if you can't sing very well, take part in the music competition. The confidence that it gives you to stand in front of a crowd helps you somewhere else. When we were growing up in 10th standard, I remember there was we used to give some NTSC exam, some National Talent Search exam. It's not that they expected me that I was so brilliant that I will get the exam, but training for that exam helps you to develop a certain mentality, how to answer questions in time. So every opportunity that you get, if you are able to utilize in your way, I think that was that, and participate, not worrying about the result. I think that's one of the best advices my parents have given us right from the beginning.
Would you tell the same thing to your younger self, or would you say something different?
I would tell my younger self to enjoy a little bit more and not stress, take everything so seriously. If I had the chance to go back and do it, because you tend to take things too seriously when you're
young,
when you're absolute, and you're in a hurry to search for things. Everything doesn't have to happen quickly. Everything doesn't have to happen right the first time you do it. You in fact, I have a 16-year-old daughter, and with her I always feel that the first time you should not succeed. You should not. She runs, so I keep telling her that it's okay. First time you should never come first. You need to learn from your failures. You learn from your setbacks. But that patience you don't have when you're growing up. So I think I would have gone back and the other thing I would have told my younger self or did differently was I would have loved to have developed a hobby. I think I never gave importance to anything. I mean, I could have learned something that today when I want to kind of de-stress or relax or take my mind off, it doesn't mean that I can't do it today, but I wish or
something
a sport,
particular.
Yeah, I wish I had pursued something that would have stayed with me right from when I'm growing up. So
okay, and what is the mistakes that you see students making today that will affect their careers in the future? As a CEO, what do you think they should take up and change about themselves?
I mean, my exposure to students is very limited now. Let's see, there's two things. One is I have a daughter, so I see her and I see her friends whom I interact with, and I see people who come to work with us who have maybe just finished their education. So I would say that, at least this is what I keep telling her, to not close your mind from anything. I don't like physics or I don't like chemistry. You may not like it, but don't shut your mind off from everything. The other mistake that I tell, again, it's not a mistake, it's just my thought on this, is to not take social media so seriously, because I've seen kids being affected very severely by pressure from social media. At the same time, it can give you a lot of opportunities to learn, because the access to information that this generation has. See, in the past, one of the big issues that only the higher ranked colleges would have access to the best professors, or would have a different curriculum. Now it's definitely, they have their place and they have their advantages, but information for somebody who wants to learn is available in so many different ways.
Yes, it is.
And like I said, beyond everything, just enjoy what you're doing. Don't do something looking at, I'm studying something for the sake of doing marks. I remember when I finished my engineering, and in India we learn in a specific way, right? Our everything depends on our results. It's also because we're a large country, we have filtering that can happen. Your next admission depends on it. But our focus is so much on marks that we tend to study, which questions come in the exam, so I'll study those questions. It's not on overall learning, it's not on overall development. And this will not work anymore. I remember when I went to the US and my first semester, and when I was doing my MS, and the system of education is completely different. It's more on how you think, on how you can absorb.
Individuality.
Yeah, how you can make, learn from a book and give an exam is very different. And all of us struggle as Indians when you go there. And this really needs to change for this different generation, for the new generation and for the current students from different perspectives. So learning more than the result, I think, is something that
is important. Yes, that's wonderful. We've reached the end of today's interview, and thank you so much, Supriya ma'am, for being with me today. And I would like to say that your thoughts were very wonderful, and I would love to implement them in my life. And thank you for giving us the time of the day today.
My pleasure, Disha. I think I really enjoyed the chat with you. It brought back a lot of my memories of the past and to run through my journey. So thank you very much for having me and giving me this opportunity.
I'm honored, ma'am. I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you for watching.